Cyclone Nivar, which is likely to become a very severe cyclonic storm, is expected to make landfall today evening between Mamallapuram in Tamil Nadu and Karaikal in Puducherry. Nivar is likely to bring extremely heavy rainfall and winds between 120 and 130 kilometers per hour, with gusts of up to 145 kilometers per hour, is what the Regional Met Center in Chennai has said. As a precautionary measure, the state government has also declared a public holiday today, given the kinds of the forecast for the cyclone when it makes landfall. Well, let's go across to Sam Daniel now for more. And Sam, what is the situation on the ground right now?
Gargi, we come to you from Puducherry, just opposite the Secretariat. The sea is quite choppy. It's beginning to rain. In fact, over the last night, it rained continuously. In several areas, there were either heavy rainfall or extremely heavy rainfall. Many parts of Chennai remain flooded as we speak now. And the forecast says there could be heavy to extremely heavy rainfall as the landfall approaches. And the wind speeds could go up to 140 km per hour. And the height of the waves could also rise up to 1 meter. That's why fishermen have been asked not to venture into the sea for at least over the last 2 days. And at the moment, Cyclone Nivar is around 320 east-southeast of Chennai, and it's expected to make its landfall tonight. And authorities anticipate major damage to electricity lines, communication lines, thatched roofs and tin sheets blown away, besides huge crop loss and also damage to roads across coastal Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Both Puducherry and Tamil Nadu have declared a public holiday. In fact, Puducherry has also invoked 144 so that people will not come outside except for emergencies. Chief Minister EPS, who visited the control center, in a statement has asked people not to come outside but to follow mainstream media alone or the social media pages of the government, and not to get panicky seeing what they get on social media. In fact, I spoke to two senior bureaucrats, the collector of Cuddalore and Mr. Gagandeep Singh Bedi, the agriculture secretary, who's also the special monitoring officer for Cuddalore, which is adjoining Puducherry, which at the moment appears to be on the path of cyclone. If the landfall goes as per the projection, both Puducherry, where we are right now, and the adjoining district of Tamil Nadu, Cuddalore, around 35 kilometers away from here, could suffer maximum damages. And they gave us a sense of the kind of damages they anticipate, the kind of challenges they face, and how prepared they are. We come to you from Devanampattinam in the Cuddalore district of Tamil Nadu that braces for Cyclone Nivar. With me, the collector, Mr. Chandrasekhar, and Mr. Gagandeep Singh Bedi, the agricultural secretary, and also the special monitoring officer for Cuddalore. So thank you very much for your time. Met forecast that the landfall could be between Karaikal and Mamallapuram around Puducherry. Now, Cuddalore is adjoining Puducherry. Are you worried, and what specific precautions are in place now?
Yeah, as of now, we are not yet sure about exact course of the cyclone. Only when it comes to any road breaches or tree falls or electrical or communication systems failure, we have our teams ready in the field. And Cuddalore has got 278 vulnerable locations. Out of them, 92 falls under high and very high vulnerable category. All these places have been mapped, and materials have been moved there also. Almost around 2,000 people are staying in our evacuation camps. Cuddalore district, we have got 42 big cyclone shelters, whereas 14 comes under multi-purpose evacuation centers and 28 as cyclone shelters. And apart from this, we have got 191 temporary cyclone shelters, which could, even adhering to COVID-19 norms, we can accommodate comfortably people around 60 to 70,000 people.
What kind of damages you anticipate and you're preparing for?
Actually, if it is 140 kilometers per hour or above, it will definitely create a lot of damages to the infrastructure. So first, the electricity poles, the trees will fall on the lines, and electricity poles and lines will get damaged.
Right.
We even expect the transmission towers to be damaged. definitely there will be a damage to even cell phone towers, and this is the common infrastructure. And of course, all the people who are living in vulnerable houses like huts and tiled houses and tin houses, etc. We expect that such high velocity of winds can cause damage to individual houses also.
We take it on priority basis. First, people lying in the low-lying areas and people lying in weaker houses, like in mud houses or thatched houses, they to be moved first.
Well, we're now joined by GP Sharma, President of Meteorology and Climate Change at SkyMet, also Professor Anil Gupta, Professor, National Institute of Disaster Management. Thank you so much for joining us. First to you, GP Sharma, what can you tell us about the intensity of the cyclone, also about, where it's going to make landfall finally?
Yes, Gagi, you see the cyclone has been intensifying right from yesterday onward. It's a very, very slow moving system, and that is why it is picking up strength. It was almost quasi-stationary, I will say, 4, 5, 6 kilometers, not a speed for cyclone. But anyway, it has already become a severe cyclonic storm now. Okay, and then to my estimate, by evening or so, it should be becoming very severe cyclonic storm. And then it should retain its intensity of very severe cyclonic storm till it crosses the coast. That should happen. To my estimate, it will possibly go to the wee hours of tomorrow. In any case, not before night, but then midnight onward, we should be on the guard, and then it could go on to the wee hours of 26th morning when it completes its landfall. Okay, when it actually.
So has it slowed down? Because yesterday morning we were estimating at that time, all of you were estimating that it would reach around midday today. Now it's evening. Now you're saying perhaps even later.
Absolutely, absolutely. It has been delaying. The timelines obviously have been overshooting now. It was, yes, estimated to be sometime around afternoon, noon hours itself, but then shifted to evening. And now I feel that it should be somewhere close to the wee hours only, because it is still about 300 and about 30 kilometer plus from Chennai. And so is the distance, about 300 kilometer from Puducherry also. The place of landfall, to me, it appears it should be very close to Puducherry, little possibly plus minus some 20-30 kilometer north or south of that. But anyway, the whole coastline between Karaikal and Chennai, that should be on the guard. Chennai already received, you see, in the last 36 hours, already 200 millimeter of rainfall has already been dumped. And then it is still pouring, and it will continue. Without their non-stop rains are there, and it's going to be there. I don't think there's going to be any break in between. Could be intensity maybe lowering or increasing, but then it should be picking up. And also the winds at the moment, yes, they are a little just about 30-35 kilometers, but that is the main threat coming up. Strong winds, high velocity winds and incessant rains. Yes.
Right. Professor Anil Gupta, very worrying situation really, especially as it's being described as, picking up more strength and becoming a more severe cyclone. And for the National Disaster Force, it's a very a situation in which they'll have to really act fast and ensure that the least amount of damage is caused by this cyclone.
Yeah, that's very true. But you would agree that in managing the cyclones now we have developed quite adequate efficiency and experience also, because and thanks to the meteorological system, India Meteorology Department and the colleagues, that we are now able to track near accurate track also and landfall also. And beside this, as the previous colleagues were also mentioning, that we have quite a good infrastructure for the cyclone relief. That is also in place, so cyclone shelters are there. But certainly, this is the coast where the cyclones are not as frequent as we get in the other part, that is Odisha. So when the frequencies are lesser, so there are always some kind of lapses or weaknesses in the preparedness also. But yes, systems geared up as quickly as possible. But yes, we cannot rule out the damage to infrastructure, roads, even to and a lot of forest degradation is also likely, devastation to even mangrove forests and the plantation, and impact on livelihood also. But yes, our forces are there, and DRF is very much there, and they will have to really struggle because the speed is likely to increase, and past 4 or 5 cyclones, if we start looking from cyclone filing, so we have been quite successful.
Right, that I would absolutely agree. Having covered so many cyclones here in NDTV, it's really changed the way we deal with the situation. Thank you so much, GP Sharma and Professor Anil Gupta, for speaking to us on Cyclone Nivar that is making its way to the coastline of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, and it's expected it will make landfall perhaps late this evening. And there you can see this tweet by the India Meteorological Department. The severe cyclone storm Nivar over southwest Bay of Bengal moved west-northwestwards with a speed. And they're giving the latest information about this cyclone that has slowed down and about where it's going to make landfall. It's expected to be closer to Puducherry.